Hello there and welcome back to the next part, mission 8 of the Zerg campaign, an eye for an eye. So in the last mission we had to destroy the Garm brood which had started to run amok because the Cerebrate Zasz was destroyed by a protoss attack. We're going to learn more about that in the upcoming mission briefing and how the Overmind responds to this.
Silence is now broken, and I am made whole once more. The cunning protoss have dared strike down that which was immortal. For the protoss who murdered Zasz are unlike anything we have faced before. These Dark Templar radiate energies that are much like my own, and it is by these energies that they have caused me harm. Yet shall their overweening pride be their downfall. For when the assassin Zeratul murdered Zasz, his mind touched with mine, and all his secrets were made known to me. I have taken from his mind the secret location of Ire, the Protoss homeworld. At long last, my children, our searching is done. Soon we shall assault Ire directly.
For now, we must ensure that the Dark Templar can cause no more harm. Cerebrate, you shall set a trap for our foes. Kerrigan will lead them to you.
So the plan is to basically take revenge on the Dark Templar who destroyed Zasz. One thing that it mentions in a bit more detail in the manual is the Overmind's overarching plan is to find the Protoss homeworld. There's the idea of the unity of form and unity of perfection of form and perfection of essence, and the overall ambition is for the Overmind to achieve the unity of these two ideas, purity of essence being the Zerg and purity of form being the Protoss. So unwittingly, the Protoss have actually told the Overmind how to get to Ire, which is obviously going to have some pretty dramatic ramifications for the Protoss. But first, we need to deal with the ones who are currently camped out on Char, which is what we're going to do with the help of Kerrigan. So, a few things we get introduced to this mission. We're going to get a hint about the plague spell. We're going to see that we actually have access to Ultralisks now, and also we get the Nidus network, which will allow us to very quickly ferry units around the map, and we're definitely going to make use of that. Now, unfortunately, I actually lost some of the previous recording. Basically, the visuals were not recording properly, which was a little bit irritating. So I've actually played a little bit of this mission very, very recently, so we should be able to make quite a quick start to it.
What is it now?
So I'm going to move camp these down here. I'm going to put her in group 9 just so I've got a quick group to select. And we're not actually going to get much opportunity to replace our units very quickly initially, although I am going to very quickly get a spawning pool down because we've given no construction buildings, but lots of hatcheries around the map to make use of. And in fact, we are going to make use of them. And we're going to use these Nidus worms, that's in StarCraft 2, these Nidus colonies to very quickly move, or Nidus canals to very quickly move forces around. So we see we've got an attack there already. That Ultralisk is just sort of sitting around doing nothing. And we're going to take the opportunity to get lots of drones out as well. You see instant movement from one part to the next part of the map. But each of these bases we have a hatchery at, which is going to make a huge difference. It's going to allow us to very quickly rally units around the map. It's also going to mean we're not going to need to do anything like build any kind of macro hatcheries. So, kind of move the lava into the canal. So we've lost all the Zerglings there, but we will be able to replace those very, very shortly. Also, while I don't have anything over here, I'm going to try and use lava from around the map to spawn the drones. The first few waves, we won't have to worry too much about having tons of forces at each exit. Just enough to sort of wipe out each force. Now, we're going to get some Zerglings here. Sadly, I can't rally individual eggs that would be a huge helpful feature. Something you can do in StarCraft 2, you can't do it in StarCraft 1.
I'm listening.
I'm also going to look at getting a Hydralisk Den, and I would like to
Require more minerals.
very quickly...
Require more minerals.
No, that D is Hydralisk Den, not H. H is Hatchery. We also very much want to look at getting an extractor so we can start mining some gas as well. I think
Our forces are armed by minerals.
what I'm going to... And there's our Zealot. I'm going to get that to hold position there. Move these Zerglings along here. Let's get another set of Zerglings actually. Put that drone in there. Also build a drone there. And I think I'm going to have put a fair number of ground forces to defend each part of the map. And then what we'll do is we'll get a fair few Mutalisks and to sort of run around the map and look around the map, and I might get a queen or two to parasite some things. We are eventually going to have to move out and destroy the Protoss base, but that's something that can be done. Very tempting to build a creep colony here just so we have some space to expand backwards. And I must have spent the minerals that were about to go on that refinery, or rather extractor. We will stick these down here. Another Hydralisk wouldn't go amiss actually, and I want to make that into a creep colony just to give us some room, some more creep to expand our base sort of backwards, rather than having it sort of all move towards the front of the base. I will want a lair very soon as well, because having various lair tech will be very useful. Now our Overlord has actually seen a possible expansion point. I don't know if there's going to be Protoss there. I think now's a good time for a lair. And again, I wouldn't mind getting the burrow upgrade shortly. Must not forget the drones I'm putting in through other bases. Okay, so there is a Protoss scout there, which is a potential, which we're not going to be able to deal with an Overlord, certainly. Which does make me wonder if they're going to try and drop over here. Now, are there any any buildings we can get? Not right now, so let's focus on mining. And I definitely... Let's get some drones started. So that was just a Dragoon. Let's get, again, Hydralisk and some more Zerglings. I'm going to just keep lots of saves up because it can be very easy just to miss, have a moment where you just completely miss. There's been a sort of run by. And let's put some Zerglings down this ramp as well. So I just wanted to pull those Zerglings back a little bit, so we have the Hydralisk's support there. I'm going to very shortly need an Overlord as well, so may as well get it now. I'm going to put that into a sunken colony, I think, and I'm also going to put this into a sunken colony, so we've just got some in-base defences. And we've got some Zerglings down here as well. I think we still need to build up the economy. So whatever was down there was very quickly wiped up. We can see. There's a Dark Templar right there. Now you see me do a lot of damage. I think we do about 40 damage. Unupgraded. They are very nasty. Definitely still, I think, need more drones. I am going to get a second evolution chamber just so we can double up our upgrades. And I also want to start looking at some of these upgrades. I think I might get the spines ranged first. Move these down here. See, we have a fairly sizable force at each entrance. But I am going to want to start scouting out, because also I want the extra map vision to make it less likely I'm going to get ambushed. Actually quite like the idea of getting the slightly longer vision first. Just because we have some overlords that need to stay static down here. And the further they can see, the quicker they can reveal things. How are we doing for defences here? So we've got quite a lot of Zerglings and Hydralisks there. I think another Hydralisk at least. And I wouldn't mind sticking another Hydralisk down here as well, actually. So I just want one. I think actually it'd be a good idea to get the movement upgrade as well, because that will make it easier for the Hydralisk to kite any kind of melee unit. And let's get at least one more drone, I think. And I think some overlords. We'll get some spare overlords over here.
Our forces are under attack.
What I'd also like to do is start thinking about a lair. Not a lair, spire. And also, I would like to think about getting a queen's nest so we can start getting to the hive tech. That will open up quite a few things to us, because we need hive tech for an ultralisk cavern, for example. So we'll get a queen's nest there, and then we'll start looking at some of these upgrades as well. I think carapace, and then I think I quite like the idea of getting the ranged attack. I have to wonder if we can get another drone in mining there. Can't tell if it's no. I think that's oversaturated if there's 4 in there. So this can get in here, and we'll get the range damage upgrades as well. Once we've got a hive, we've got quite like the idea of a pneumatized carapace, actually. Some more Zerglings down here, because I think being able to move the overlords around would be very nice. And I'm tempted to get a couple of some Scourge. Ah, now this is interesting. They're starting to send some range units against us. Fortunately, Hydralisk can deal with those quite nicely. Let's stick another Hydralisk down here though. Now we are going to want to find another source of gas production as well. Aha! Now, speaking of finding other mineral resources, and let's take advantage of the opportunity we can to move some Hydralisk overlords around here as well. Okay. I think a single queen to start parasiting. Okay, that's going to get driven off. Now there's some defences there. Right, that scout seems to have decided to leave alone. But I am going to stick a Hydralisk or 2 down here. Fortunately, at least from what I remember of the campaign, they don't tend to attack these bases very much. Now we might need to be just vigilant and might be able to need to swing some forces just into a Nidus Canal, just to repel any potential attacks, because I don't want to make too many assumptions there. But they tend to leave those alone. Now the Queen herself is not a great scout, but that parasite ability is going to be very useful. I'm going to get some more overlords around, and while we can, a few more Zerglings just to bulk out our defence forces. Except here, I'm going to get another 1 or 2 Hydralisks, I think. And then I want to start massing up some Mutalisks, I think, as well. So, what I'm going to do is, I remember around here there was a scout, so I want to see if I can parasite it. So we can keep an eye on that part of the map now.
Our forces are under attack.
Excellent. Now, can we go up to the hive? I think that's a good move. Now do a quick save. Now let's see, I wonder if we can... not with that overlord, I think. But I'm wondering if we can lure the scout up there into a row of hydralisks. In fact, I wonder if a creep colony there is going to disrupt too much. Don't. Oh, not with that one though. No, each one. Every time I pick one, it seems to. It seems to be picking one which is carrying minerals at the time. So I'm thinking of putting a spore colony there and actually some more creep here, so I can put some defences in my mineral line. So let's send this one scouting along here. See what else we can see, where else we can expand to. Gonna get those to hold position. Okay, so we have another small protoss base up there. Now, hopefully, I think that works out pretty much as well as it could have done. Just about got away with that. Let's put a spore colony there.
Our forces are under attack.
There we go. Actually, quite like the idea of getting burrowed.
Evolution complete.
And now we can start getting the hive technology as well. So, I think an ultralisk cavern would be quite nice. If you watch the last mission, you'll notice I built defilers and then never used them. So I might not waste the gas this time. Again, not the defilers are a bad unit. I just tend to completely forget about them. Right, I think we're okay in sort of stable on ground forces, but I would quite like to push up there. And I have to wonder as well, is there... Right, so there is a route through to here. In fact, I think I very much want to start considering rallying support over here. Now let's... So let's start thinking about how we're going to assault up here, because I think we definitely need an assault force. There's a dancing hydralisk there. Now this should be fairly straightforward to take with a not too large a force. But we're definitely going to need to expand to start getting these minerals. I'm going to stick these in here. So we can start moving up along here and really pushing into these two areas. One thing I want to see.
Our forces are under attack.
Because I think we can hold each of these points for the moment. Now, let's also look at the cost of some ultralisks. So 200, 200. So they are very expensive units. Again, we'll stick these in here. And before we make this attack, we'll just do a quick save and just... in fact, definitely want the adrenal glands before we push in with the zerglings. Be a waste not to. What other upgrades can we get here? Right. So that'll be control group 1. Ek 2, that'll be control group 1. Let's see if we can get some more. I'll make that control group 3. Okay, so 1, then 2, then 3. You can be in control group 3 as well. So we're going to attack move with 1, and then attack move with 2, and attack move with 3, and they should all approach at roughly the same time. Now we've not quite got the Zerg. There we go, we've got the Zergling attack speed now. and we'll build up some replacement forces while that's going on. In the meantime, yeah, so we've quite easily cleaned that up. Now what this leads me to think is we're going to have a potential avenue for the enemy to attack there. I'm going to get some drones ready, and these are going to build 1 or 2 drones as well. Now this force, I think, can go to this Nidus Canal here. Again, we've got some dancing hydralisks. Joys of the pathing in this game. And we will use these drones to start building a base here. So I'm going to build... That can build an extractor. This one can build a hatchery. This seems like the best place for it. And for the moment, that one can just do some long distance mining. But I will also probably want to start building some creep colonies for defences. So, similar thing, push up with these. Put the overlords more towards the back. And we can see actually, I think... Not quite sure what was going on there. I think I may have had a unit selected in a group that for some reason was up here. So, let's bring a drone up here as well to build a base here. Now if I move these hydralisks out of the way, that seems like probably the best place. And I can actually hear we are I can hear probes mining, so we are overlooking a protoss mining base too. Build some drones up here. Have some more drones here. And I want to put some static defences down. I also want to get some more overlords. Yeah. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick an overlord over there because that will not attack and automatically sort of trigger as much enemy aggression. Now let's see, these I want to bring back here, and I may actually put an ultralisk down here as well. Okay, definitely want to start looking at investing in some ultralisks. As it might not be surprising, but air units cannot go into the Nidus canals, so that's certainly not a thing you want to sort of waste your time doing there. Now, is this hatchery done? This hatchery is done. So we can start getting some mining here. I'm going to put some of these drones. They're going to start throwing High Templar at us, so that's going to be something to watch out for. Their Psionic Storms, High Templar Psionic Storms do an absolute ton of damage. They are very, very horrible things. Now these we can get mining here. Very low on minerals here, so actually I'm going to stick some of these through, and these can come and mine over here. And this, we will start building some creep colonies, I think. What I don't want to do is inhibit the movement of my forces to and from the extractor too much. So I'm hoping that that creep will spread just a little bit further. This can come and mine over here. These can come and mine over here, and these can build some creep colonies. I'm going to stick, that's going to get stuck there. There we go. So I'm going to stick, I think, 2 spore colonies and a sunken. And I'm probably going to do a similar setup around here. We will get some more drones out here as well. Let's get another overlord or 2 as well. Right, I think that can just about go there without blocking too much stuff off. So a spore, and a sunken. And that should prevent a reasonable number of drops, although it might be prudent to get a colony here as well. Although that's going to block off mining there, so maybe not. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be. Let's see, can we build a creep colony there? That might allow us to expand around here. Right, these can go control group 3. These can go here. So these can go here, and then they can start mining here. These ones, I think, can start mining here. So I'm going to make that a sunken colony, and I think I'm going to push this through and see if we can make a spore colony there. Meanwhile, I'll push some forces down here. One thing I do worry about is the protoss forces there. Now, makes me think that can't get through. Yeah, that was what I was worried about, just as I sent the Hydralisks away. I wonder if there's an observer around. Yeah, I think there's an observer around. So, I think we're going to have to build a spore colony there. You return your resources there. You can mine from here, and the other drones return your resources and go back and mine there. These will burrow, come over here. Let's start getting some more mutalisks. Now. Very large force coming down here.
Our forces are under attack.
Right. Reaver attack there, which is not... Lost the Nidus colony. Very frustrating. Right. Easily fixed though. I think it's V Nidus network. Let's build a creep colony while we can. There's a very, very big force coming up there. I think what that's telling us a lot more Ultralisks. Where are these? I see, okay. They must be sort of split, so let's just undo that control group because that's not causing us doing us any favours. Right, you go back to mining there, and we will put a Nidus canal here. We're also going to put sunken colony there for defence. We've got a lot of resources to spend now. We are really floating them, so let's start doing that. Definitely going to want to start making use of the Ultras. Now that Nidus canal hasn't finished yet. That's why that's going through there. The Ultralisks will be able to soak quite a few Reaver hits. And that seems to be a major position they're choosing to attack from. Let's also get a lot more Overlords into the mix. As if
Our forces are under attack.
Right, that Ultralisk is going to die, and I'd rather it didn't. Sadly, there's not a quick way to heal these units. So,
our forces are under attack.
Get some more. Definitely don't want those to be sort of dallying around down there. Right, yeah, we lost the Ultralisk, but that's not surprising considering the amount of damage it had taken.
Spawn more Overlords.
Let's get some more Ultralisks around the map. Now, their attacks don't seem to be as intense down here, so I'm wondering if they are focusing most of their forces down here, which is going to be something to watch out for.
Spawn more overlords.
Still need more overlords.
Our forces are under attack.
So let's see. These 4 can go into control group 3. These can go into control group 4. And we'll...
Spawn more overlords.
Look, many more overlords needed. Still taking their time to just get these upgrades. What else can we upgrade? Won't hurt just so we've got the energy. Let's get another...
Our forces are under attack.
So I have to wonder if there's anything else we can... So let's get control group 3 of the Mutalisks out of the way, so they're not causing any problems. We'll have these sort of meet halfway. So there's control group 4. Now, something to assault down there. Get a few more Ultralisks out, I think. How are we doing for mining here? Okay. Now we do want to consider pushing down there. Aha! That's our sunken colony. In fact, I'm tempted to do something a little bit cheesy and just build a row of sunken colonies along here and see what they do.
Forces are under attack. Complete.
Not sure I need to worry about Guardians just yet. How are we doing down here for Ultralisks? Yeah, we can probably put a couple more Ultralisks down here very shortly. Now that Reaver is a worry. So I'm hoping we can... There we go. Managed to soak up most of the hits from that. Let's get some more Zerglings out. They're very useful to sacrifice there. And we're going to do something really mean, and we're going to build a load of sunken colonies here just to sort of cheese that base a little bit. Oh, mind actually, just before we do that, getting a couple of spore colonies as well. And in fact, I don't think I'm going to go for the Sunkens right away.
Our forces are under attack.
Okay. A few more Zerglings. Now these, I think we're looking at... Yep. And another Mutalisk there. And then we can probably... right, okay, so spore colony, sunken, sunken, sunken. I'm not going to cheese all the way up here, that would be a bit silly. Ah, we do have an in to the enemy base there, so that's something to bear in mind. I am actually going to get a Defiler, Defiler mound, just in case I decide to use them. I think it'd be quite nice to put some plagues on some buildings. And that is something they clearly want you to do in this mission. The Ultralisk get some very nice upgrades in the Brood War expansion. Now let's see what we've got down here. Okay.
What is it now?
It was Kerrigan who I put as...
Our forces are under attack.
Now the thing that potentially worries me is getting attacked by more High Templar, so...
Our forces are under attack.
And I think actually, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a High Templar with this wave that we're seeing. Okay.
Evolution complete. Evolution complete.
couple more overlords. Now let's scout along here and see what we can see.
Our forces are under attack.
Yeah, as I thought, High Templar. It's going to cost us a few Zerglings, which can be easily replaced. It's quite hard to keep an eye on all three parts of a map at once. Let's get the Plague ability. Let's see what other upgrades we can get.
Our forces are under attack.
Ah, Reaver. Okay. Unfortunately, again, easily compensated for. Right. So we're going to have a look over here, see what we can see. So we've got an part overlooking the protoss base now. One thing that's going to be tempting there is, can we snipe that pylon and take away the energy field, the power field? Where was that queen? Let's make her control 0. I think we're okay for Ultralisks over here.
Our forces are under attack.
And let's see if we can parasite here, see if that gives us a bit more vision. Now that photon cannon's going to start attacking, but that's okay. We'll leave that for the moment. Let's get some Ultralisks down there for a big push. Now I did get an Overlord with some Hydralisks in. In fact, these 4 come in this one as well. So I don't see why we shouldn't throw as much of it as we can. And the Reavers cannot shoot up the ramp, so that will be something we'll take advantage of. Let's get the Defiler energy. In fact, I think we've got another place where we can get a sneaky look at the Protoss base.
Our forces are under attack.
Okay, fortunately, that Overlord will run to safety, and there we go. And there's that photon cannon gone. In fact, that might be a good opportunity for us to really do some harm to this base. I'm going to move... Oh, no. Hold on. And 4. Now there's an observer there. So I'm going to move these around the long way around so they are less likely to get attacked. That's concerning. But I'm going to have to keep an eye over here to make sure that there's no... In fact... I think we can probably take these. And while we're at it, let's move these. Let's have these forces sweep in here. Now that Reaver is a huge concern. And that looks like some moving Templar.
Our forces are under attack.
Once again, I grow tired of slaughtering your servants. Have the mighty Templar lost their infallible courage?
Well spoken, concubine of the Zerg. But though we strike at you from the shadows, do not think we lack the courage to stand in the light. You would do well to abandon this attack.
You seem overconfident of your abilities, Dark One. I am no helpless cerebrate to be assailed under cover of darkness. I am the Queen of Blades, and my stare alone would reduce you to ashes. You and your ilk cease to amuse me. Prepare yourself for Oblivion's embrace.
So, there's Kerrigan not prepared to take anything. We lost a couple of Mutalisks. I think that's a small price to pay for that one. So there's one Protoss base down, and actually might be an opportunity. Let's get this photon cannon dealt with. Including
Our forces are under attack.
observer. Ah, there we go. There's a High Templar using his psionic storm. Fortunately, my Hydralisk there gave chase. Right, I think focus that cannon down. I didn't want Mutalisks. So it was control group 3, so you can go in control group 3 and you can go in control group 3. So let's see what else we've got. I think we can, again, get ready for a big push down here.
Our forces are under attack.
Fortunately, the Ultralisk could deal quite nicely with the Archon there. Ah, of course, or out of supply there. Now I don't want to send everything out because obviously there's a risk that if I do that, something will sneak by. I think we can probably take that photon cannon as well. Destroy that pylon just so it's gone. Got some Mutalisks, Ultralisks to add to the fray. Definitely don't want to. Yeah, that was quite unfortunate. Mutalisks can be very good for sniping down, attacking High Templar, but obviously there's a bit of a risk of incurring some damage there from their storm, which is very, very nasty against the. Okay, I don't want you guys running all the way over there.
Our forces are under attack.
Do not want that. So I think we've got a nice sizable force here. Let's get the Mutalisks over this high ground here. There's no harm in doing some more upgrades. Might as well get that. And what I think we want to consider is knocking on the front door of the Protoss here. Now I have to wonder if we can snipe this Reaver. Which I think we can snipe both of them. Or all three of them.
Our forces are under attack.
Mutalisks can be devastating. But they are also very vulnerable to being wiped out by coordinated anti-air attacks. Such as that one there. But it just about made it out. Now that's going to have severely weakened the enemy there, and I think actually we can look at pushing in with these forces here. They're going to need a bit of management. I want to kind of send the right. Reaver's still there, so let's see if we can get an Ultralisk on those Reavers. Let's see if we can get an Ultralisk. Ultralisks can absorb a lot of punishment from those Reavers. Wasn't quite enough though. Now, let's see. Let's move these ones back a little bit and let's let the ones that are a bit healthier come in at the front. Snipe that photon cannon. Push these Zerglings, Hydralisks, sorry, around here. A few more. 1 or 2 more Ultralisks I don't think would actually hurt. Ah, those would be going to waste. And then move these here, and then have them attack move there, have these attack move here. Definitely don't want to throw away any Hydralisks, Mutalisks. Would help if we got all the Zerg units' names right. Yeah, and there we go. Another Protoss base done. And then we can go in for a big sweep around on this one.
Now, Protoss, you shall know my wrath. Now you will know the fury of the Queen of Blades.
Oh, and there we go. We only had to destroy the sort of core command center. Okay. So, Kerrigan has successfully hunted down the Dark Templar, and I think is probably, it's reasonable about to assume, absolutely obliterate them. So, with that, we've achieved victory and destroyed the Protoss forces. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!